you on top and another man, because I know what a lot of people don't understand, what a lot of these women being professionals is, a lot of men don't want to open up to females because they feel some type of way. You know what I mean? Whereas with another man, it's easy. That's why I want to partner these men with professionals. That way, because it's easier if you got another dude there.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially if he's been through it. You know what I mean? That
Makes
can
a
sit
world
there
of
and
difference.
yeah, exactly. And that's what I was trying to, because a lot of professionals like, you don't want to go out there and like act like you're a professional. I was like, that's not what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to do is connect. That way, when I come ask you, hey, now I got somebody you can talk to. Now that you had this conversation with me, you're more likely to be like, all right, you know what I mean?
I ain't
Because
gonna lie, you changed my whole mindset just in a little bit, because I was standing out there and I was going through it. I ain't gonna lie. You know, I try not to show it, but in my own head, man, I was going through it, bro. You kind of broke that mindset or the train of thought anyway. You know, and just that breaking that, how do I put it? Like we down on ourselves more than we down on anything, you know what I mean? And just somebody say, hey man, what's going on? You know, how's your day?
yeah,
Will bring so much light to that one individual.
Yeah.
You have no idea, man. Just the little things that you do will bring a world to somebody else, you know? And I appreciate you.
yeah,
I really do.
and a lot of people, and that's how I was. I was always there, like me, I could help everybody, but I always down on myself. I did so much bad stuff. I figured, you know what I mean, God's not gonna accept me. You know what I mean? But like I said, I had to look at those blessings of other people. If I couldn't see the blessings in myself, then I had to see those blessings in other people. You know what I mean? And if I look for those blessings in other people, it'd be easier for me to help people. And like one thing I do is help people, and that's one God knows I like that. You know what I mean? So that's one way that He blesses me that I never really thought about. You know what I mean?
Brings a little sunshine to your soul.
Yeah, by me hearing you say you feel better just for talking to me, that right there just made my day feel better.
Oh, really?
Because that's the point. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And that's what I want to get. That's what I want to start. And that's what I want to get other men involved in. But I want them to be dedicated to. You know what I mean? Because the problem is, like I have my daughter, she works at a children's home. And she interned there where she was going back and forth from college to the place. And I told her, if you build a bond with somebody at that children's home, because a lot of those kids keep it.
Yeah.
Because when you break that bond, that's when
it's
most
gonna hurt.
people, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's
They're gonna fall off.
yeah, and then that was my problem. You know what I mean? Like I grew up with distant parents, and my parents not being there, so I grew up with, you know what I'm saying, not being able to hold bonds. You know what I mean? And one thing in my life that I can own up to is, I'm 43, a year older than you, and in my whole life, I might have loved one or two women. I was trying not to love because so many people left me in my life when it came to love.
Man.
I didn't want to do it, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. I understand that completely. I've been through, I'll be honest, I've been through many women, and it's probably missed out on a lot of great opportunities.
Me too.
You know, just because of my own stubbornness, I guess you'd call it. You
Yeah,
know
that's
what I mean?
exactly what it is.
But, you know, everything will point, you know, God's got a purpose for you. You want to be here. I've learned that much. There's been many times I've tried to take my own life. There's many times I've OD'd. There's many times, I've been shot 6 times, I've been stabbed 7, and I'm still here for a reason. I don't know what that reason is yet, but I know I'm still here for a reason.
That's one thing I had to realize. Like I lost a friend in the streets in Vegas, my best friend. Like this dude looked out for me when I was a kid more than anybody. And that's how he passed away. You know what I mean? I have 2 friends doing life without parole. You know what I'm saying? And then I have another friend that got killed. But I always would ask myself, how would God bless me? But I'm the one still out here. I'm out here being able to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? And that's a blessing. But I couldn't see those blessings. So what you need to see, just like I had to see, is you got to see your blessing. That's where it's going to start. Seeing those blessings. You know what I mean? It doesn't take a professional for me to tell you to keep God in your heart. Because like I said, I didn't have God in my heart. I just recently found, like I had God, but I didn't have him like that. Right. It wasn't until like the last, and this is weeks. This is not years, months, and none of that. This is weeks of me having God in my heart. And like, I ain't gonna lie, for about 20 years, I didn't cry. I just started crying in the last 3 months when I was looking at my relationship with God, my parents, my family, friends and everything else, and how easy you can lose people. And that's what we don't. That's what we got to live for, because there's a lot of people out here we live for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like me in particular, it's my daughters, some of my friends. You know what I mean?
Well, that's a blessing right there, that you have somebody to live for.
Exactly.
A lot of us don't.
Yeah.
You know, all we have is ourselves right now. And that's...
But one thing I had to learn, you have to love yourself first.
True.
Before it makes sense for you to love others. You know what I mean?
You can't love anybody until you love yourself.
Exactly. And that's like me, even with my kids, it was some type of distance. You know what I mean? Like in the last month, I said my relationship is better because I'm finally opening up to my heart, to where I had a rock over my heart for the longest.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But being like that, I ended up losing myself with it.
Yeah.
So because of that, whoever I can help, I'm going to help, because I don't want them to be out here like I was. You know what I mean? So I'm willing to tell my story to everybody if that makes them find a connection with me. You know what I mean? Because like I said, sometimes people just need somebody to talk to that's gonna help them. You know what I mean? Like one thing that I do to get my mind off a lot of stuff is work out. You know what I mean? And I try to hit it hard. You know what I mean? And that helps. You know what I mean? Like working does too. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure when you're out here working, it kind of it's kind of better than just sitting around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you're not stuck in your own head. You got something to focus on.
Yeah.
You know, and having that focus helps. It helps a lot. You know what I'm saying? Just gives you a little something to push you a little further, little inches by inches. But by God, you'll make it a foot sooner or later. You know?
Yeah. And that's what people got to understand. This is not a fast process.
No.
You know what I mean? Like me and my personal journey, I'm gonna be healing, but I'm gonna be out here helping heal too. You know what I mean?
In the process, that's gonna help you heal.
Exactly. And I'd rather do this. One thing that I learned about this being a social media era, like a lot of people, because I was like this, I would rather go out and do meaningless stuff when I could have been saving that money that I'm spending going out doing meaningless stuff to come out here and help people that need help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Speaking life into them. Because the problem is, usually when you out here, it's not a lot of people speaking life. You know what I mean? It's the same thing when you go to jail. Like some of the conversations you get lost in because a lot of people in there talking about nothing that's going to help. You know what I mean?
And a lot of it's just war stories, back and forth, you know. And you get stuck in them sometimes just because you're trying to relate to somebody. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it doesn't do any good. Doesn't get you any farther in life. All it does is push you back or keep you in the same spot.
One thing I told a couple guys that I go visit is right now is the time you got to think.
Yeah.
The smartest people are in here because they got 24 hours to think. People on the streets dealing with the streets. But in here, it's you and your mind. You put that mind in positive thought, you can get out and become a millionaire because you got way more time. How you think people break out?
Yeah.
Because all they got is time to think. You know what I mean? They not like the guards, where the guards is in a routine, go back to their life.
Yeah.
These dudes is just focused. You know what I mean? And being focused. And I was like, and I tell them, come up with some ideas and tell me, because you never know, they might have the next millionaire idea. You know what I mean? That's another thing I want to do is explore the minds of people doing long periods of time. Because like I said, that's why I said hooking them up with people out here, they might be like, hey man, you could do this, because this is somebody got life. He wanted to do something, got an excellent idea, but he can't do it.
Can't do nothing.
Let him hook up with you and tell you, hey man, this is what you can do. You know what I mean?
And then together y'all make
exactly,
something,
you know what I mean? And then that
new.
person out there can help
yes, sir.
you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So it benefits everybody.
Man. That's it, bro. That's it.
Yeah, but like I said, I think if it's a lot more people out here that's willing to talk to people, you know what I mean? That's willing to go take out of their busy day and get out here and relate to people, I think we could stop a whole lot of. If I change, like I told my daughter, she was telling me about a teacher she had that kind of quit because I guess one of the kids that they were counseling, something happened. And I told my daughter, this is the thing, when you do a profession like you trying to do, being a psychiatrist, if you save 10 people out of 100, that's 10 people you still save.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that 90, worry about the 10. Like that's one thing that I had to learn. I had to learn if somebody's so far gone that you can't help them, you just gotta let them be.
You gotta let them go.
And you gotta get out here and help the people that's looking for the help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If they don't want it, you're not gonna give it to them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not gonna accept it. You're wasting your time, really.
Yeah, and that's what I was doing. One of my main problems was I would waste my time on people that can't be helped.
Yeah.
But I'm ignoring the people that's helping me the most.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
But that's how it was. You know what I mean? Especially women, because like with women, I would put a hard shell. I didn't want to love, so like. But like right now, I'm changing my ways. You know what I'm saying? I'm still the same person. You know what I'm saying? Like I bring value to every relationship. Yeah, but I gotta work on. You know what I'm saying? It's a way to give a message. You know what I mean? You can't come give a message in a certain way, or people ain't gonna relate to it. You know what I mean? And that's what I want to do. I want people to be relatable to me. You know what I mean? But like I said, I've been having these conversations like this since I was 17. So this is easy for me. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I just got to get other men to be comfortable. You know what I mean? Because a lot of them, some of them aren't comfortable. You know what I mean? Me, I go everywhere. Everywhere I go, Baltimore, Memphis. Like I done been to some of the worst cities. But I can always talk to somebody, you know what I mean? Like I done went to St. Louis, got a 24-pack of beer, seen some dudes playing dominoes in some random broke down apartments. It's like, hey, I share the beer with me, with y'all. All I need to do is talk to y'all about y'all story. But see, back then I wouldn't record it. I would just talk to them, not knowing that I could have probably put that on YouTube and made money. You know what I'm saying? But now, what I'm gonna do is. It gave
you experience, though.
Yeah, exactly. It gave me experience to be able to talk to anybody about anything, and not judge their situation, because I don't know deep what your situation is. You know what I mean?
That's where a lot of people hit walls, because they already got a judgment. As soon as they see you, they automatically think a certain way.
Yeah, and
you got to break them walls down.
That's why one thing I learned from some people. Alcohol Anonymous, one of my friends was going, was they said the best people that they like talking to was the counselors that used to be alcoholics.
Oh yeah,
because they know exactly what
they know exactly what you're going through.
You know what I mean? Instead of assuming, you know what I mean?
You can read all the books in the world, but until you've been through it yourself, you never really know.
Exactly. And that's what I tell them. Some of the smartest people I met were either in the streets or in jail.
Yeah.
They didn't get out in no school. They wasn't easily influenced like a lot of those people. You know what I mean? Because a lot of those people are easily influenced because of school. You know what I mean? But you can get a degree. You can get a degree out here. You got to go way farther because you know how to deal with situations.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? That other people just can't fathom. You know what I mean? Because they never been through it.
Yep.
Like you said, your experience being shot, going in and out of jail, you know what I'm saying, hustling up the money. And that's what I tell her. That's another thing I tell people. There's a lot of people out here, they hustlers. The problem is they need that opportunity. That's one thing that they lacking, is one opportunity.
I miss going to work, I ain't gonna lie. It's little things like that really just, would really change, even if it's pushing shopping carts, you know. But the main problem out here in the streets anyway, a lot of people can't go to, the ones that want to go to work can't.
Yeah.
Because we can't get our IDs together, we can't get this together, we can't get that together, you know. And plus, we don't really have the resources to keep our hygiene up like we should be, you know, and changing our clothes and everything. So our appearances.
See, and it's good for you to let me know that, because now I know, like when I get the nonprofit, instead of expecting people to go somewhere to get ID, I can come up to you and be like, hey man, what's your name?
It's Mike.
Mike. What's your last name?
Stevens.
Mike Stevens. Do you got your ID? No? Okay, look. I'm gonna show you a way to get, because there's ways to get what those things called, little waivers where you don't have to pay for it. You know, matter of fact, I'm gonna give you a ride up there. You know what I mean? That's what I want to do.
That'd be awesome.
Because the problem is, like I said, with a lot of people that snap or like that go to JPS in Fort Worth, the police got to find out they crazy before they go up there. But you don't have to do that. You can go out here and find somebody and be like, what help do you need? You need your ID? All right, jump in the car.
Come on.
You know what I mean? What I'm doing today is I'm picking everybody up in this area and we going to get IDs, and all of them free. You know what I mean? And that's easier than expecting somebody to go up there because they chasing something else. They're not really thinking about that. But when you be like, yo,
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? You have no excuse today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the same thing, like what you just said about going to work and stuff. One thing I noticed they have in LA, but I don't know if they got it out here, is they have a place in LA where you can go charge your phones, take a shower, put your stuff in lockers and stuff. It's just like a day place where you just
but
go.
they don't. Like, we got a place, but it's only